Introduction. Aging often comes with doubts about appearance. But what many men fail to realize is that good looks don't fade with age, they evolve. Confidence, maturity, and the way a man carries himself can often outshine the smooth features of youth. In fact, many younger women are drawn to older men not because of wrinkle-free skin, but because of the strength, wisdom, and presence they project. Being considered attractive as an older man isn't just about genetics. It's about subtle signs that reveal charisma, discipline, and self-respect. From the way you dress to the way you interact with others, there are key indicators that you may be far more appealing than you think. In this discussion, we'll uncover 8 signs that you're a good-looking older man even if you don't see it yourself, and why these qualities often make you stand out, especially in age-gap relationships. 1. Age with confidence. Aging with confidence is one of the most powerful mindsets you can adopt, because it turns what many people fear into something you can embrace with strength, dignity, and pride. Confidence as you grow older does not come from trying to fight against time or desperately holding on to youth, but from understanding that every stage of life brings its own form of beauty, wisdom, and influence. The truth is, many people waste years worrying about wrinkles, gray hair, or the number on their birthday cake, when in reality, what others notice most is the way you carry yourself, the energy you radiate, and the calm self-assurance that only comes with experience. When you age with confidence, you understand that every scar, line, and lesson is proof that you have lived, endured, and grown stronger. Instead of competing with younger generations, you set yourself apart by embodying qualities they often have not yet developed: emotional stability, clarity of purpose, resilience, and a sense of direction in life. Confidence in aging is also about maintaining your health, grooming, and lifestyle in ways that keep you vibrant, but without trying to be someone you're not. You recognize that style evolves, conversations deepen, and relationships become more meaningful when approached with maturity. This mindset frees you from insecurity, because you no longer chase superficial validation, you stand rooted in self-respect. Moreover, aging with confidence allows you to inspire others, because you will become a living example of what it means to grow gracefully while still pursuing goals, passions, and love without apology. Every year becomes a badge of honor, not something to hide, because it reflects discipline, survival, and wisdom. Confidence makes you magnetic. It allows you to enter a room and command respect without having to prove yourself. In relationships, it gives you an advantage, because women and men alike are drawn to the security, depth, and leadership that radiates from someone who is not afraid of getting older. Ultimately, the key is to view aging as an upgrade, not a decline. You're not losing value, you're gaining refinement. Just as fine wine, leather, or art improves over time, so do you, if you accept your growth and carry it with pride. 2. Age with confidence is to live unapologetically, to embrace every stage as an opportunity for reinvention, and to stop seeing your worth as tied to youth alone. This attitude doesn't just make you attractive, it makes you unstoppable, because nothing is more powerful than a man or woman who is at peace with themselves, no matter the number of candles on their cake. 2. You take care of your appearance. Taking care of your appearance is not about vanity or obsessing over superficial details. It is about self-respect, discipline, and the silent message you send to the world about who you are and how much you value yourself. The truth is, people notice how you present yourself long before they know your character or capabilities, and whether you like it or not. Those first impressions influence opportunities, respect, and even how you are treated socially and professionally. When you choose to take care of your appearance, you are practicing a form of self-leadership, because grooming, dressing well, and maintaining good hygiene show that you are organized, mindful, and intentional about life. Think of it this way: if you take time to polish your shoes, trim your nails, maintain a clean haircut, and wear clothes that fit you properly, you are communicating that you care not just about yourself but also about the people you interact with. You are saying, I respect this moment enough to bring my best self forward. Beyond external grooming, taking care of your appearance also extends to your physical health. Staying active, eating well, and managing stress not only to shape how you look but also impact your energy, posture, and confidence. A man or woman who values their appearance naturally walks taller, speaks more clearly, and commands more attention without trying, because appearance reinforces inner confidence. The key, however, is balance. You don't have to chase trends or spend a fortune to look good. What truly matters is neatness, cleanliness, and authenticity to your personality. When you dress in a way that enhances your natural strengths, maintain a body that reflects discipline, and consistently carry yourself with dignity, you radiate an attractive presence that others can't ignore. Furthermore, caring for your appearance is an act of self-love. When you put effort into how you look, you remind yourself daily that you are worthy of care, worthy of respect, and worthy of being seen. This attitude influences every other area of your life, from relationships to career, because people respond more positively to those who visibly take pride in themselves. On the other hand, neglecting your appearance often reflects a deeper neglect of discipline, self-worth, or motivation, which can silently push others away or make them question your reliability. Therefore, treat your appearance as an extension of your mindset, polished, disciplined, and intentional. Remember, you don't get a second chance at a first impression. And while character and values define you in the long run, appearance opens the door for those deeper qualities to be recognized. In short, when you take care of your appearance, you're not just looking good, you're building confidence, showing self-respect, creating opportunities, and radiating an energy that invites trust, admiration, and respect. 3. You have masculine presence. Masculine presence is not about being the loudest man in the room, flexing your status, or forcing people to notice you. It is the invisible weight of your being that makes others feel you before you even speak. When you walk into a room with masculine presence, you don't need to announce yourself. People sense your steadiness, your calm, and your quiet confidence. This presence comes from self-awareness and groundedness, the ability to be centered in your body, not lost in anxiety or desperate for validation. It is the way you stand, breathe, and hold eye contact without flinching, the way your voice carries calm authority without strain, and the way you listen deeply instead of rushing. To prove yourself, women are naturally drawn to men who have presence because it signals safety, direction, and strength, qualities that speak louder than looks or money. Masculine presence is built through discipline. Discipline in your emotions, your habits, and your mindset. When you control your reactions instead of letting anger, jealousy, or fear rule you, people trust you more because they know you cannot be easily shaken. When you move with patience and purpose, you show that you are not frantic, not needy, but in control of yourself and your path. Presence is also spiritual. It comes from aligning your actions with your values so that people can feel your integrity without you having to explain it. If your words and actions match, if your energy communicates certainty and strength, you naturally command respect. Developing masculine presence requires embracing discomfort, standing firm when life tests you, and refusing to crumble under pressure. It means you can handle silence without awkwardness, you can look someone in the eye and make them feel seen, and you can project stability in a chaotic world. This type of presence is not arrogance. It is not about forcing dominance. It is the quiet strength of knowing who you are and not being swayed by the opinions of others. Men with presence don't need to boast or chase approval because their confidence radiates in how they carry themselves. They are calm in storms, decisive in uncertainty, and inspiring simply by existing authentically. If you want to cultivate masculine presence, focus on stillness, breath, discipline, and authenticity. Remove the need to prove, and instead allow your strength to speak through your silence and your actions. Over time, people will naturally follow your lead, respect your boundaries, and admire your certainty. Not because you demanded it, but because your presence left them no choice. Masculine presence is the rare quality that separates men who are easily ignored from men who are remembered. It is the timeless signal of strength that transcends words, and when you embody it, the world responds to you differently. Doors open, people trust you, and women feel magnetically drawn to your grounded, unshakable energy. 4. You radiate maturity and stability. Maturity and stability are not traits that need to be loudly declared. They are quietly radiated in the way you carry yourself, make decisions, and respond to life's inevitable challenges. When a person radiates maturity and stability, they exude a presence that others naturally trust and feel safe around. This quality is not about being perfect or never making mistakes. It is about having a grounded mindset, an even temperament, and the ability to approach situations with wisdom rather than impulsiveness. Maturity shows itself in self-awareness, in knowing your strengths and weaknesses without denial or arrogance, and in taking responsibility rather than shifting blame. Stability, on the other hand, is revealed through consistency, keeping your word, showing up reliably, and handling life with calmness even when circumstances are chaotic. Together, these traits create a kind of magnetic energy that makes others feel secure in your presence, whether in relationships, friendships, or professional settings. People who radiate maturity and stability listen more than they speak, reflect before they act, and value long-term growth over short-term gratification. They don't crumble under pressure or allow their emotions to dictate destructive behavior, but instead channel their emotions into thoughtful responses. This makes them dependable, resilient, and deeply respected by those around them. The ability to radiate maturity and stability also comes from inner discipline, building routines, nurturing emotional balance, and setting clear boundaries that protect your peace. By choosing growth over stagnation, patience over recklessness, and wisdom over impulse, you become someone others can lean on and admire. True maturity isn't rigid but flexible, adjusting gracefully when life shifts unexpectedly. True stability isn't about controlling everything, but about anchoring yourself so that storms don't uproot you. When you radiate these qualities, you don't need to prove your value. It becomes self-evident through your steady presence and the comfort others feel in your company. This is the essence of leadership, attraction, and personal fulfillment, being the kind of person who stands firm, grows wiser through challenges, and inspires others simply by how you live. 5. You keep yourself physically active. Staying physically active is one of the most powerful choices you can make for your health, mindset, and overall quality of life. When you keep your body moving regularly, you are not only strengthening your muscles and bones, but you are also sharpening your mind and building resilience against stress, fatigue, and illness. Physical activity is not just about lifting weights or running long distances. It can be as simple as walking daily, stretching in the morning, dancing to music, or practicing yoga. What matters most is consistency, because the body thrives on movement and quickly adapts to the level of activity you give it. A sedentary lifestyle, on the other hand, quietly drains your vitality, slows down your metabolism, and increases the risk of diseases that could have been prevented. Keeping yourself physically active also gives you a sense of discipline and self-control, because it requires commitment and the ability to show up even when you don't feel like it. Each time you move your body, your brain releases chemicals like endorphins and dopamine, which elevate your mood, reduce stress, and make you feel more alive. That is why after exercise, people often feel lighter, calmer, and more confident. Moreover, physical activity teaches you the value of patience and progress. At first, the effort may feel difficult, but with time you notice strength, stamina, and flexibility improving, reminding you that growth comes through persistence. Staying active also has a social element. Whether you join a group workout, play a sport, or simply take walks with friends, it helps build connections and encourages positive habits. Importantly, being physically active does not only benefit your present self but also secures your future, since it slows aging, supports heart health, improves posture, and keeps your mind sharp well into old age. It gives you the energy to show up fully in your relationships, work, and personal goals, rather than dragging through life tired and unfocused. By keeping yourself active, you are sending a powerful message to your body and mind that you care about yourself enough to maintain strength, vitality, and balance. It is not about perfection or comparison with others, but about respecting your body as the foundation of your entire life experience. Think of movement as medicine and as a daily act of self-respect. Just as you nourish yourself with food and protect yourself with rest, physical activity is an essential ingredient in your well-being. The greatest benefit of all is that the more you move, the more you realize how capable and alive you truly are. So whether it is through exercise, play, or simply staying engaged in active routines, keeping yourself physically active is not just a habit. It is a lifelong gift you give yourself, ensuring you remain strong, confident, and resilient no matter what challenges life brings. 6. You carry style instead of chasing trends. True style is not found in the latest fashion magazines, the flashy social media feeds, or the constantly changing seasonal trends. It is something deeper, something that flows from within, something you carry with you rather than chase after. When you understand that style is an extension of your personality, your values, and the way you see the world, you no longer feel the need to keep up with every new fad that comes and goes. Trends are temporary, designed to lure people into constant buying and endless comparison. But style is timeless, a personal language that speaks even before you open your mouth. A man or woman who carries style does not worry if their shoes are from this year's collection or last year's. Instead, they focus on whether their choices reflect who they truly are. Carrying style means embracing confidence, authenticity, and presence. It's how you move, how you present yourself, how you maintain simplicity with elegance. Many people believe style is only about clothes, but it's much broader. It is your grooming, your posture, your tone of voice, your mannerisms, even the calm assurance in your eyes. Chasing trends often creates anxiety, because no matter how much you buy, you always feel behind. But carrying style creates peace, because you know you already possess what matters most: self-awareness and refinement. When you carry style, you become magnetic without trying. People notice not because of the brand you wear, but because of the way you make the brand come alive. This is why some individuals can wear something inexpensive and still look remarkable, while others, despite spending a fortune, still look uncomfortable because one is chasing and the other is carrying. Carrying style also requires consistency. How you treat others, how you care for yourself, and how you hold your ground in a world obsessed with appearances. It means having a signature presence, whether it's the way you always stay well groomed, the way you carry conversations with depth, or the way you stay aligned with your personal essence. Trends can enhance your wardrobe for a season, but style builds your identity for a lifetime. Think of icons whose influence still lingers decades later. They did not chase trends. They carried a personal style so authentic that even time could not erase it. The lesson here is to invest less in consumption and more in cultivation. Cultivate your taste, your posture, your grooming, your communication, and your inner confidence. Once you understand that your worth and attractiveness are not determined by what the fashion industry dictates but by the way you embody yourself, you step into a freedom few experience. You no longer need permission from society to look good. You already do, because you've claimed ownership of your style. So stop running after every passing wave. Instead, anchor yourself in who you are, refine it, and wear it proudly. That's when you stop chasing and start carrying. And carrying style is the truest form of elegance. 7. You single quotes re-comfortable in your own skin. Being comfortable in your own skin is one of the most powerful lessons a person can learn, and it is often the turning point between living for others' approval and truly living for yourself. To be comfortable in your own skin means you have made peace with who you are, your strengths, your weaknesses, your past, and your future. You no longer hide behind masks or try to fit into someone else's mold. Instead, you allow your authentic self to shine without apology. This comfort is not arrogance, nor is it complacency. It is a quiet, unshakable confidence that comes from knowing your worth is not dependent on external validation. When you are at ease with yourself, you stop competing with everyone else because you understand that life is not a race but a personal journey. You recognize your flaws, but you don't let them define you. You celebrate your talents, but you don't let them inflate your ego. This state of being brings a rare sense of freedom because you no longer fear rejection, judgment, or comparison. People who are comfortable in their own skin radiate a magnetic presence. Others feel drawn to them, not because they are perfect, but because they embody authenticity in a world where most are pretending. This lesson teaches you that true attractiveness comes from self-acceptance, and true peace comes from not needing to prove anything. It encourages you to treat yourself with compassion, to forgive your mistakes, and to embrace your uniqueness rather than running from it. When you reach this point, you stop living in the shadows of what will people think, and start creating a life that reflects your values and passions. Relationships become healthier because you no longer seek to fill a void with others. You enter connections from a place of wholeness. Challenges become easier to navigate because your self-worth is not shaken by setbacks. Instead, you view them as opportunities for growth. In essence, being comfortable in your own skin is about living in alignment with who you truly are, not who the world tells you to be. It is a daily practice of self-awareness, acceptance, and courage. The more you nurture this mindset, the more unshakable your inner peace becomes. And perhaps the greatest gift of all is that once you are comfortable in your own skin, you unconsciously give others permission to do the same, inspiring them to embrace their authenticity too. This is how you not only transform your own life but also positively influence the world around you by embodying the lesson that real power lies in being unapologetically yourself. 8. You attract respect and attention naturally when you carry yourself with quiet confidence and self-assurance. You begin to attract respect and attention without even trying, because true presence is not about forcing others to notice you, but about embodying qualities that naturally draw people in. Respectable individuals understand that respect begins with self-respect. If you value yourself, honor your principles, and set clear boundaries, people instinctively treat you with the same regard. Attention is not seized through loudness, arrogance, or a constant self-promotion, but through a calm aura that communicates certainty, strength, and authenticity. Those who attract respect naturally tend to walk with posture, speak with clarity, and maintain consistency between their words and actions. And this integrity is magnetic in a world full of contradictions. When people sense reliability in you, they want to listen, observe, and even follow your lead. What many fail to realize is that respect cannot be begged for or demanded. It is earned through consistent character, patience, and the ability to remain composed in challenging situations. By practicing emotional control and responding thoughtfully rather than reactively, you radiate authority and inspire confidence in others. Respect also grows from humility. Acknowledging others' worth and treating them with dignity makes you stand out even more. Because in giving respect freely, you invite it in return. People pay attention to those who don't desperately chase attention, because detachment conveys that you are secure within yourself, not dependent on validation. This inner security creates a subtle gravitational pull. Your presence alone commands a room without the need for theatrics. When you know your values and live by them, you automatically communicate strength, and people are drawn to that stability, because it is rare and reassuring. To attract respect and attention naturally, you must focus less on trying to please others and more on mastering yourself, your habits, your mindset, your discipline, the way you treat your body, your tone of voice, the respect you show for time, and the consistency of your efforts all send signals to the world about your standards. Attention follows standards because people are curious about those who refuse to compromise their identity. Over time, you'll notice that you don't have to demand respect. People will listen when you speak. They will notice when you enter a room, and they will remember your words long after you've left. This is the power of presence. It is not about being the loudest, the flashiest, or the most aggressive, but about living in such a way that your very existence leaves an impression. When you cultivate inner strength, balance, and authenticity, you naturally attract respect and attention, not because you chase it, but because people can't help but give it to you.